I grew up in Buffalo, New York. I grew up in a suburb of Buffalo, New York. Cheektowaga is where I grew up, but I was born in Buffalo, New York. You've probably heard of the place. Maybe you saw a weather report or something. My father likes to remark when people are dissing on Buffalo's weather that it's snow. You move it out of the way and life goes on. Never had a big flash flood in Buffalo, New York that ruined everybody's property. Sure, the snow does some damage and all, but you get used to it. Earthquakes do a lot of damage. Never had an earthquake take out a whole town anywhere near Buffalo, New York. You just move the snow out of the way. I guess so far we've been pretty lucky. Don't want to be arrogant. Some places not so lucky. I do a lot of traveling around, you know. See a lot of things, meet a lot of people. Bit of a vagabond. The Rust Belt vagabond, that is. Last couple of years of my life, I've traveled all over the place. Seen some pretty remarkable things. Welcome to St. Bernard's Parish. Building a better future. That's what the sign rolling into town read. Just what does it take to build a better future when you consider the present of a place that's been obliterated? In the future, they'll have houses, they'll have fences, they'll have yards. Out of this devastation, we will build a new city in the parish of St. Bernard. When the hurricane hit, everything there got flooded. So folks called their insurance agencies. If you ain't ever seen the scene, then you might not believe it. But every house down there has at least 100 stories. Well, the insurance companies, they had their priorities. And it's plain to see these people were not one. Now it's spray-painted signs that read, "Do not demolish. Someday we'll be coming home." And in the future, we'll have houses, we'll have fences, we'll have yards. Out of this devastation, we will build a new city in the parish of St. Bernard. Many of these houses go back 3 or 4 generations. Most of the homeowners are poor. You can see the FEMA villages, temporary housing. But how long is temporary? No one can be sure. You know, the high school there had been abandoned. Many of the stores are still closed. You got handmade street signs nailed up on poles. After more than 800 days, didn't look like a whole lot had been accomplished. But it's good to know the government has goals. And in the future, they'll have electricity. They'll have banks, gas stations, restaurants, and bars. Out of this devastation, we will build a new city in in the parish of St. Bernard. In the future, they'll have houses, they'll have fences, they'll have yards. Out of this devastation, we will build a new city in the parish of St. Bernard. In the parish of St. Bernard.